Ma'am, I'm handing you what has been marked as People's Exhibit 1146. Can you recognize what that is?
Yes.
Tell us what it is.
The design of the theater.
The theater that you saw the Batman movie in that night?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Does it have indications where you and everyone were sitting?
Yes.
And does that still remind you of where everyone sat from way back when?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And is that a fair and accurate copy or a fair and accurate representation of what took place that night, at least in the limited fashion that's on there?
Yeah.
What I'd like to do, Your Honor, if I could, is to describe the action. I'd like to have Miss Moser come up to the exhibit, if I could.
Okay.
And ma'am, I'm gonna, this, right here, I'll grab that. I will, Jesus. Mhm. Ma'am, so that we can hear you, I'm going to give you this microphone. Can you hold that and still point to stuff if we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you that. Now, if you could, if you can reach, can you show us where you were sitting that you recall back on the 19th of July before the movie started?
Yeah, I believe it was in this fourth row right here, like in the middle.
Towards the middle, and I'm
Yeah.
pointing where I think the middle is. Am I close to one of the seats?
Yeah.
All right, now from where you were there, and let me ask this. Did you walk into the theater that night?
Yes. Uh-huh.
From where I'm pointing, approximately where you were sitting, who was seated to your left?
Jameson was on my left.
Was anyone else to the left of Jameson?
Yeah, but we didn't know who was not with our group.
Yes, thank you. I should have asked a better question. Who was to the right of you?
Veronica.
Who was to the right of Veronica?
Kaylin.
Who was to the right of Kaylin?
Haley.
And again, these are approximations. I may not be touching the right seats. Is that fair?
Right.
Okay. And they're indicated on that People's Exhibit that we just talked about?
Yes.
All right, after the arcade, all those kids in Jameson come back,
Yes.
and the movie starts. Yes?
Yes.
Do you have concerns that the movie now is not quite the family-friendly flick you thought it might be?
Yeah, during the previews, I kind of figured it was going to be a little more R-rated than I had thought.
What happened while you were watching the movie?
Well, I had all of a sudden during the previews, I heard something explode, like to the back left of me.
And forgive me for saying, if you say back left, I'm pointing in a general area. Do you mean back in this area here?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know what it was or where it came from?
No, I didn't see where it came from, and I didn't know what it was at the time. I just had heard something explode and then a bunch of gas coming out, and I don't know, I assumed it was a stink bomb from when I was like in high school, but I recognized it didn't have this smell. So.
Then what happened?
And then as soon as because I had turned my head as soon as I heard it explode, and then right when I went to turn my head forward, I saw a flashing light in the sky, which I thought was or not in the sky, in the air, and I thought it was a firework.
Do you know where in the theater the firework thing seemed to come from?
Yeah, it seemed to come from like upper left.
I would give you the pointer, but are you talking about in this area where I'm pointing here or somewhere else? Tell me where.
Well, I guess a little like more towards the middle front, yeah.
And you thought you saw something that was fireworks?
That looked like fireworks to me.